Thanks for joining us for the penultimate episode of Film Reels. We're going to be interviewing local actress and supermodel Alissa Kulinski of Chic. So sit back, relax, and get ready because we're counting down to an awesome show. 2, 1, and go!
Hey, you okay?
Margot, do you ever get frustrated with all this?
Yeah, but, you know, it's a necessary evil. One more movie with Slink, maybe 2, and we'll have enough money to do what we want to do.
I know, it all feels so repetitive. Hair, makeup, report to set, get on, get off, blah, blah, blah. And all for what? A 3-hour fuckfest with no redeeming social value? It's exhausting.
Do you want to quit, Gwen? Because I go where you go, you know that. So if you want to quit, you just say the word and we will walk away.
No, you're right. Another couple of films and we'll have the money we need. I don't want to jeopardize that just because I'm feeling a little cranky.
Well, look on the bright side. If your bad mood is PMS, you're about to get 3 days of paid time off. Can't beat those perks, am I right?
So that was a clip from the web series Chic. And in the studio today we have Alissa Kulinski! How's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
I'm kicking it, you know, keeping it real, you know.
How you do?
How I do every day.
Right.
That's how I roll.
It's the Schober way.
So yeah, let's get this interview kicked off with a punch.
All right. Not to the face.
No, not to the face.
Okay.
No. So where were you born?
I was born in Marshfield, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And before a year old, my parents moved out to Withee, Wisconsin.
Where is that? I don't know where that is.
It's very small. It's between Eau Claire and Wausau, about an hour each way. And I went to Owen Withee High School.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many people were in your, you said it was a small town. How many people were you have in your class?
In my graduating class, including myself, it was 40 people.
Wow.
It was very small.
Tiny towns, right?
Yes, small towns, yes.
Yeah, tiny towns unite.
Yes, woo! Yeah.
So what was it like growing up? Did you grow up in town or out in the country?
I am a country girl. It was nice. You know, being out in the country was like really cool. You kind of get to do whatever you want out there. And I like, you know, being outside and stuff. So we grew up next to a woods and stuff. I could be out there and camp and things like that. As far as the town itself, it was quite
Aren't they all?
Yeah, there really wasn't a lot to do. I mean, like, you have the standard, like, going to football games and basketball games and things like that. But honestly, I couldn't wait to get out of there.
Yeah.
Get to a bigger city.
There's that core group of kids that are always like, I can't wait until I'm old enough to drive because I'm driving as far away from here as I can.
Really, that's what I did at 16.
Yeah.
I would go to like Eau Claire or Wausau or Marshfield to, you know, go out and do other things.
I remember when I turned 16, I was so excited that I could drive to Madison and go watch a movie on my own and not with my parents.
Yeah, right. I'm free, man.
Freedom!
Yeah, it is really nice to do, yeah.
So you started acting in 7th grade, but you had a opportunity to act in a play back in 5th grade?
Oh, yes.
Tragedy strikes.
Yes. It's very unfortunate. I blame my little brother. No, we were playing tag on a swing set, and he tapped my back when there was like a stairway, and I fell and I broke my arm.
Oh.
So, yeah, so I couldn't do the play, unfortunately.
But it was a political play about Indians and pilgrims,
I'm pretty
right?
sure it's something about the first, you know, feast or something.
Yeah.
I do not remember it at all.
It would have messed with your student council career.
Yes,
later
I
on.
think it would have hurt my reputation in the future.
But then,
good move on my part.
But then you started acting in 7th grade. You had a production of The Christmas Carol?
Yes, I do believe, I might be remembering this wrong, but I think I was the wife of Bob Cratchit, right?
Bob Cratchit, yeah.
I don't remember it very well, but I remember doing it, you know, it was part of the class. It was part of communications class, I think, so, yeah.
It's a fun production.
Yeah.
Was it like the Dickinson version where it's like all the weird wording and stuff like that?
I believe so. It was the traditional
Yeah,
one,
because sometimes they update it and they take it out for the kids. Because it's just like
it was the boring version.
Yeah.
not exciting at all.
And were you involved with any kind of like clubs in school?
Yeah, we did forensics, which was you could do like poetry and acting, and you would compete in competitions, district, regional, and then it would go to state. Mm-hmm. And of course, I was part of the play acting group, and we went to state every year actually. And
nice.
I think 7th grade is when we started that, and I went every single year and competed.
And you remember what categories it did? And
no, I know it was a group though. Like it had to be a certain amount of people. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure 5 was the requirement, and you could have a couple more than that. If I remember correctly, I might not be remembering it right, but. And you had to, perform in front of a classroom and stuff, and you were judged on a lot of criteria.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was very competitive.
Yes, it was.
Yes, that's why I'm like, I have to mention that we went to state every year.
Yeah. That's important.
Yes, very important.
So after you were done with high school, you said, I'm out of here, and where did you go?
Which is, funny because I wanted to go to a bigger city. I ended up going to Minocqua, Wisconsin, further north, and working at the casino on the reservation at Lac de Flambeau for a couple years. And then in 2007, I moved to Madison. My older brother was living here, and he graduated from UW, and he's like, come to Madison, there's so much happening here, you need to come here. So I did in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so before you moved, you started doing modeling work.
Yes.
What did you do for that?
It didn't really go anywhere. I did some conventions, is what they call them. I got pulled into that, and was asked to participate, to go in front of a multitude of agents. It was an opportunity to it was like 40 or 50 agents,
okay.
From Elite, Ford, all these things. You could be in front of all these people, and if they wanted to use you, then there you go.
There you go.
I mean, I didn't get anything, but that's okay, because I, developed the attitude early on that you're going to hear no more times than yes. And so I developed a thick skin in that way. So that's where it helped, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what really got you into acting? Because you're going to start getting into more acting roles coming up. So what was your inspiration for doing this?
I would say it was just an interest very early on. I grew up in a household where we loved movies and stuff, especially my dad. He would Beetlejuice was one of the first movies I ever saw, and
awesome.
I've seen it like over 100 times. My favorite character, Michael Keaton, playing Beetlejuice, I just loved his performance, and I was always very intrigued about the acting part of it, and like what they do to get into character and the methods and everything. I was very fascinated by it, and I watched behind the scenes as much as I could, especially my favorite actors, and would learn, and I just took a lot from it and was like, I love doing this too. I just naturally did it. I mean, my little brother and I did skits all the time and would joke around and stuff, so it was always a natural thing for me, I think, and I'm just like, I should pursue this.
Yeah. Nice. So now you're in Madison in 2007, and then you said that you did some modeling again, and you went down to Chicago at one point?
Yeah, there was another type of convention. It was for a program out of New York City, and they had where they were like casting here in Madison for that, and my older brother talked me into doing it. He's like, here's this opportunity, do it. I'm like, okay, fine. And we actually both got selected.
Nice.
My older brother did too. He went to Japan to teach English, so. I know, so, really.
Well,
no.
yeah.
Oh, but
priorities are all misaligned.
Exactly. Bad move.
Yeah.
But no, I went to Chicago for that, and again the same thing where there's a bunch of agents, and I didn't get selected for that, which was okay. I don't think modeling is my real passion. I love doing it, and I like working with photographers and doing different themes and stuff. But acting is my primary passion, and I love it. So that didn't pan out, but. It was an experience.
Yeah.
I got to go to Chicago.
There you go. You can't go wrong with that. So tell me what happened in 2011 while you were working one day.
Oh, yes. That's where it all begins, in the filmmaking. I was in the break room at Captel, and I saw a flyer for an audition for Disconnected, which was my first film. Sarah Hesch posted it for the Spinning Gyre production company, and they were looking for a role. And I read the description, and I was just like, I've been out of acting for like 5 years, and I missed it all the time. I thought about it all the time, and I was just like, I'm going to audition. Why not?
Why not?
Let's do it. And I'm like, if I get it, then I should be doing this. It was kind of like a sign thing for me. Like, let's see where this takes me. And I got the role.
Sweet.
And, you know, did that. It was my first film, so it was my first experience doing that, and loved it.
Loved it?
It was amazing. For my first experience, it was amazing. Like, that set was run really professional, and, you know, working with Tim Town for the first time, and I met him. And, you know,
Tim.
working with Sarah. Yeah, Tim's great.
So after Disconnected, you participated with Amy Thorstensen and Sarah for the 48-Hour Film Festival,
Yes.
when you guys did A Fairly Normal Love Story.
Yes.
How was that?
That was awesome. You know, it was just like we're all running and trying to get this done and within a timely manner, and it was really cool. It was a great experience, just being part of a competition like that and participating. And I worked with Tim Town again for the second time then, and it was a great plot. Loved the twist of the story.
Yeah.
It was just really fun to do, and we won 4 awards for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't remember them though.
I remember, I'm pretty sure runner-up for fan favorite was one, best story and best use of character. I know 3 for sure.
Yeah.
I don't remember the 4th
There
one.
may have been like a genre one.
That might have been it.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have done our research
Yeah.
on that. But anyways.
Drop the ball.
Yeah.
Jeez. Make me look
What kind of
bad.
rinky-dink production
Come
is
on.
this?
Yeah, really. Why did I come on here? No, just kidding.
So then from those 2 films you entered into theater. So tell us about what that was.
Yeah, I was cast in my first theater production since high school in 2011. Yeah, Spectacle was the production, and I had a leading role with Miranda Beadle.
Why the hell are you here? Because it's not fair! Because 2 years earlier I was just like Maggie!
And it was a comedic role in the beginning, you know, but then it had some serious elements to it.
Yeah.
It was, you know, about a school shooting and 2 survivors that were being interviewed on a talk show about it to talk about their experience. And so that was a great production to be part of. I had a great time, and like getting back into live theater, you know, it was a little nerve-wracking, but it was fun, and I you know, remember the experience of being in live theater and appreciating it. So
who was the director on that?
Chris Snap.
Chris Snap.
Yes,
All right.
that was my first time being directed by Chris, and I have to say he's an amazing director.
Yes.
Like, he is very spot on about what he wants from the characters and like pushing us and like bringing it out, and he's a great director.
Yeah, yeah. So then you started working on a script called Grim Whimsy at that time?
It was actually around that time. I think, yeah, it's funny. It was right around there. I was working with some individuals that they weren't really part of the filming community, but
They wanted to write something.
yes, he was a writer, and I worked with him at Captel as well.
Gotcha.
Liam Murphy was the one who wrote the story.
Okay.
And we were, you know, trying to get this production going and stuff, but the group I was working with wasn't as familiar with the filmmaking aspect of how to do this, so it didn't really pan out. But, you know, developing the characters, and I developed the character, the main one, and like did help with the story and stuff, and it was an original concept and a great idea. So it didn't quite go anywhere at that time, but I brought it to Sarah later, you know, with Liam's permission, and was like, hey, do you want to make this into something? And she really thought it was a great idea, and so she expanded it into a feature length, and then, you know, we started doing casting and stuff, and we did shoot the trailer, but it's on hold right now because Chic is our primary concern, and because we have 2 more seasons that we want to do. So we're going to put that on hold for a little while, and you know, we already cast Ben Whitehaven as the opposite starring role in Grim Whimsy. Yes, Ben. So it will happen.
Sweet. So we got that to look forward
Yes.
to.
Oh, yes. I can't wait to do that. That's going to be fun.
So then we fast forward to Quantum of Vengeance, which you were in.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that. How was that?
Oh, that was, it was a great role. I really, really loved doing that. I have to say that really pushed me out of my comfort zone too, in really committing to a character like that. And then I got to do the whole thing where I got to play 2 different roles.
Yeah.
I love doing that. And I find that I get cast that way a lot. It's like, I don't know what that means. But it's fun and it's challenging. You know, and I met Ben doing that production, and it was a great experience. Very hard work, but it was awesome, and I think it provided me a lot of connections and opportunities, meeting people, and exposure and whatnot. So,
Totally.
Yeah.
So let's jump into Chic.
Yes.
Tell us about Chic.
Oh, Chic is a dramedy about 2 women in the adult film industry.
Get the hell off my set.
The studio is not just going to let you out of your contract, you know? They will fight for their interests.
So will we.
Let me buy you lunch. We'll talk about our future.
I play the adult film star, Gwen Angels, aka Starla Jones. Both sound like porn names.
Yeah.
It's great. And they're working for this company, Sling Studios, that it's this like big budget, like they don't really care about quality and overworking their people and everything. And they force us to make a decision whether to stay with them or leave. And the 2 women decide to leave and go out on their own and make their own film. With artistic values and whatnot, and do it right.
It's exactly what this industry needs. A real story with a real message.
Yeah. And what else?
Sex?
Yes.
That was it's been a great experience.
Yeah.
It was my first like real comedy to do, and like we had to do improv and stuff, and like it really pushed the envelope for me in many ways, and I've had a blast working with this group. It's just been amazing. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us about one of the biggest challenges you guys had on set.
Oh, challenges on set? Well, I would say the environment at one point posed a problem. On one of the sets, we actually had to deal with a leaking ceiling that was almost caving in at one point. We arrived that morning and it's like, oh, okay. Well, can we still film? We're doing it. We're
committing.
We are. We're all pulling together, and we're going to make this happen. And we did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy, but we were all like sympathetic to the situation. We're like, well, we can still do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We pulled through.
Sweet.
Because we're hardcore filmmakers.
Do it.
Wisconsin filmmaking.
So we got a Quantum of Vengeance DVD release later this month. So what day is that?
That's June 23rd at 1 p.m. at the High Noon Saloon.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you got Chic's pilot episode coming out.
Yeah. As far as I know, the episode is pretty much finished. We just have a couple things to do, like ADR or something, and I think the soundtrack is almost done. So it's almost finished.
And then we're looking forward to seeing and hearing more about Grim Whimsy in the future.
Yes.
So
you will.
I love it.
It will happen.
So Alissa Kulinski has a lot going on right
Yes,
now.
I do. I like to be busy.
Yes. You have achieved that.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come in and be here with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes. So this has been another exciting episode of Film Reels. So rock out.
Yes.
What? That is going
I just sit here like,
what's going on?
recording, right?
Yeah.
God damn it. I just swore.
Yeah.
Yay, Pino. Okay.
Celebration of foul
Foul language.
language.
I never swear.
Ever.
Never.